Hi everyone, it's Ruth here. I've just popped on to try and do a one sheet wonder with more of a masculine theme. It was somebody commented on my last one sheet wonder and been researching a little bit, so I had another quick look on Pinterest to get some inspiration, and I'm gonna let you into a little secret. I didn't look up masculine cards. I looked up masculine bedroom designs, and then I looked up masculine wallpaper. I'm just trying to figure out my lighting here because I'm not sure this is kind of working, but I think it's because I've got so many reflective surfaces. I'm going to move that out the way. There we go, that's better. So I looked up masculine wallpaper, and it was really interesting what came up, because I was trying to think about various stamps that I have in my stash, because to be honest, since the new catalogue's come out, I lost a lot of, not lost, but there are a lot of stamps that I'm not going to be able to use because they're not current, and I don't really want to demonstrate stamps to you that are not current. So I've just grabbed from my shelf a few stamps. I'm just going to go through them and explain to you what I would suggest you look for in your current collection that you can use to do more masculine style cards. Now, this is not to say that these cards are just for men. Actually, sometimes women have that, desire that aesthetic a bit more, and sometimes more masculine style cards lend themselves to perhaps more sympathy cards, or cards that are not necessarily just girly and frivolous and flowery and, which is, I love doing flowery cards, but I also do love looking at other types. So hello if you're watching live. Hi, this is a live video. Please skip ahead if you're watching this on the replay and you want to kind of get down and have a look at what I'm doing. I won't be offended if you want to do that, but if you are live with me, then do say hello and do interact, please, with what's going on. Okay, so the first stamp set I got out was Buffalo Check, and that kind of speaks for itself. I've seen people play with this a little bit more by putting lines and things into it, so that is something that is worth, maybe playing with. Then I was fortunate enough to get the Birch tree stamp, and that kind of, just says it all really. That's kind of woods and trees and all that kind of thing. Crackle paint, another one. Then, of course, any stamp set that is texture based, I would say is really useful to have. And there are a couple of more stamp sets in the catalogue that I don't have that I really would like, that I think would help with kind of textures and masculine styles. Then the other type of stamps I would look at are anything to do that have shapes. So we used to have a really great stamp set called Work of Art, and again, it's not current. I do have it, but as I'm not going to be using it today. So this one is called Swirly Frames, and this has got lots of lines, and it's got squares, circles and rectangles. Then the reason I pulled this one out is because I really like this kind of watercolory blotchy effect here, and it's also got some other shapes. It's got that circle, it's got that splodge there, and then these leaves I think could be used, as long as you're careful how you use them, they could be used as well. Then this one, normally associated with more floral, obviously, but this has got a lovely leaf in it, and it's got this lovely leaf stem. But this one in particular, I think, can be used for more masculine items. Very Versailles, definitely. I think if men who like a more vintage vibe with the script, the leaves, and even this ornate frame, I think could be used for a masculine card. Certainly this kind of design here could as well. And of course, any tree stamp set I think can be used for guys or more masculine style cards. And one that I forgot to bring in, or two or three, oh, how many more? There's one, oh, where's it gone? There's another Christmas one to show you. Not quite sure where it's gone. It was on my desk earlier, but certainly like snowfront and waterfront could be used. And there's another Christmas one that I thought I had it on my desk, but maybe not. Oh, here it is. This one here that I was using the other day, the Christmas countdown. I think these elements here could be used for masculine, and certainly that. Yes, definitely that. So I'm going to just do some one sheet wonders. Some of them will be one sheet wonders in the sense that I am stamping it on one sheet, but yet I am thinking in my head about dividing it into 4. So I'll go with crackle to start off with, and maybe some splodging, and maybe a bit of a tree. Let's have a look. Maybe a bit of a frame as well. We'll just see how it goes. Then the second thing to bear in mind when you're doing more masculine style cards is colour, because it's the colour really that makes all the difference. So I would be definitely looking at the neutrals range of colours, the browns, the greys, the blues, greens, kind of staying away from the pastels and the pinks and obviously all that kind of thing. But that doesn't mean you can't use them, it just means you have to be a little bit more sparing in your use of them. So even, you know, like Blackberry Bliss could be used, the dark purple, but certainly all these lovely browns, and I'm just going to get a few out. I don't think I'm going to use them all, but I just want to drop in mint macaron there as a slightly lighter, and maybe even old olive. Let's grab a green, another green. Oh, sorry, I feel like I've got a tickle in my nose and I'm about to sneeze. But anyway, right, I'm just going to... Is the lighting okay for you guys? Can you see that okay? Okay, so I would normally get started with a bit of a background, or just get some colour laid down. Oh, I forgot about these ones as well. They're Seaside Spray and Soft Suede. But as I've got the crackle, I'll start with something. Let's go for crumb cake, I think. Oh, excuse me, I'm just going to blow my nose. There we go. Sorry about that, guys. That'll be embarrassing. Right, I'll get into position. So, how are we all this evening? I hope you're well. So, I'm going to start off with a technique that I use quite a bit when doing more grungy, freeform sort of stamping. I just like to grab the stamp in my hands and not actually put it on a block, and just dip it in and just kind of go for it. And I find it just gives a lovely kind of a bit more of a random kind of effect. And hi Dawn, yes, you caught me live. Okay, so in my head I'm thinking we're creating 4 cards. So but at the moment we're just laying some pattern down. I'm not really thinking about it too much. I just want a few spaces taken up with some pattern, and then we'll go from there. Okay, so that's lovely. Now, can you see how by doing it with your hands, it does make a difference? If you had that on a block and then you were inking directly onto there, I would have ended up with like rectangle pieces, which is not the look that I'm kind of going for. I'm not saying that's wrong, it's just not what I'm going for right now. So then let's look at getting some more kind of texture down. What about this kind of like splodge here? Now, because this already has a undefined edge, then I'm happy for this to go on a block. And I think let's aim for having that somewhere in the middle of each card. So as I said, we're imagining we've got 4 cards here to create. We don't know which way up we're going to put them. It doesn't really matter at this point. You know, they could be going around the other way. Oh, there we go. All right. And it could be that we then, once we've made these backgrounds, we're going to maybe stamp sentiment and punch it out and have a focal point. We don't know. But it doesn't matter at this point. Right, let's have a think else. Okay, I don't really want to get overboard and use loads and loads of different stamp sets, so let's go for trying to get as much as we can out of this one, this little waterfront one. And I think it would be nice to bring in some green now at this point. I'm going to just mount up a couple of stamps really. Pop that to the side. So I'm imagining, you know, maybe we could have a bit of land off to the side there, or here like that, and then I'm going to experiment with having a couple of cards up the other way. And I love how that by kind of being quite random to start off with means that each card is going to be a little bit different, and we're not aiming for some kind of weird perfection. We're just aiming for artistry and playing with all the different ways that the colours interact. So, there we go. Right, I hope this is making sense so far. And so I would like me to get a circle in here. This swirly frame's gone. Where did I put that one? Okay, I must apologise for being very multi-stamp happy tonight, because maybe I will try and do another project where I just stick to 1 or 2 stamp sets, and have a good play. So let's make the kind of, oh no, that's too small. I'm going to do this a bit more random, okay? I wanted the circles to be around the trees, but I don't think that's going to work, so I'm going to just do some random circles instead. Go for it, Ruth, says Bev. Thank you, Bev. Hi, Randy. Hi, Cindy. Hi, Kay. Hi, Dawn. Hi, Janice. Hi, Ali. Hi, Pia. Hi, Sheila. Sorry, that's everybody that's watching live so far. Do share this video out if you can. I think you can share it on YouTube, like share it on your YouTube feed. I don't know. Not quite sure how that works, but there we go. Right. Remember the edges when you do one sheet wonders. Okay, do remember to do the edges. Right. So this is when I need a little helper by my side, cleaning my stamps, you know, like a pot washer. And putting them all back in the right place. Anyone want to come and do that for me? Right, I'm going to remove that one and see if I can use the big one. Always share, says Cindy. Absolutely. Always like and share, please. Always give the thumbs up, because it helps with, I don't know, the powers that be at YouTube. It gets my videos seen by other people. It brings new viewers. So if you're able to like by doing the thumbs up, it always helps. Right, this is what I wanted. I wanted to kind of have a bit of a focal around that one. So let's go do this one again over here, but this time I'm going to lift off and move it slightly and stamp again, and move it slightly again and stamp again. And that's really fun to get that kind of lovely, I don't know if you guys can see that very well. I'll bring my other light over. I've got a daylight lamp here that I'm experimenting with for the first time, so I'm hoping that helps with what you can see. So this one I'm just going to do one, and then with this one I'm going to do a bit of a shimmy around like this. And it's a great way of also using up the ink on your stamp, isn't it? Because you're only going to clean it off, so you may as well use it. Yes, Cindy, come across the pond and put my stamps away. Right, I don't think I want to add too much more to this, apart from a sentiment, really, which I'm not going to add right now. I don't think it needs much more. So this would be the stage in which I would say, right, let's chop this up. Let's have a look at what it actually looks like broken up. So let's cut this down. I'm going to cut it here at 14 point sort of 3.5 or 4.5, no, 4.5. So that's in centimetres. So in inches, that would maybe be about 5.5 inches. but you guys, your paper's slightly different. So don't go by my measurements, just cut your cardstock in half minus a little bit so that you'll have a border for when you stick it down. Right. Right, let's have a look. What do I want off there? That bit off there. Right. Sorry guys, this is the bit that I would edit out during editing. This boring bit of cutting up. Talk amongst yourselves, make a cup of tea. Right, so 10 centimetres there. And then cut a little bit off this side as well. You love watching my creative pro. Oh, thank you. Well, I'm glad you do. So here we have 1, 2, 3, 4. So if you want to add more to this, you could. If you thought, okay, that bit there needs a little bit more, it's a little bit empty, you could just grab your stamp back again and just, you know, add a little bit more to that corner if you felt like needed it, like that. And then maybe this one needs a little bit there and there. Let's have a look at this one. This is looking one-sided-ish, so let's add a bit there and there. And then that one. Oh, I don't think it really needs much else, but there we go. Let's do that. Okay, so is anyone showing buffing on the screen? It seems to be running in real time. Odd. Oh, oh, I don't know about that. Sorry. It seems fine on my end. So to soften the look, what you could do is then use a little bit of this balmy blue. Maybe use some speckles in here. So I'm going to grab the ones that I know you guys probably know this is one of my favourite stamps, this speckly one. But I'm going to use 2 so that you can see the difference between the 2. Let's get in a bit closer. There we go. Oh, you're having some buffering issues, guys. Sorry. Must be the long distance you guys are away from me. Okay, so that's just got a little bit of, I say sparkle, it's not really sparkle. Something atmospheric. Pop a bit in here as well. And then I'm going to swap that out for a slightly larger one here. So this has got a bit of a larger spotty kind of effect. Just go down from the corner like that. Let's come in from the side a bit there. Maybe come in up from here as well. And there we go. Alright. Exactly. No buffering in Florida. Oh, so Florida's fine. There we go. Right. Go Florida, go. Yes. Right. Let's have a look at these. So if I grab a background just to help highlight these a bit. Candice says she likes the blue. It's good, isn't it? So there we go. How about that, guys? You see that better? There we go. Oops, sorry, I'm just trying to get my... There we go. Sorry about that. Okay, and then there's the other one on the other side. So you see a little bit of a difference, but you know, it's this one, the dots are a little bit more in the, you know, you can see them better. So I'm trying to find my words. So I've got those ones, and then that one, that's a bit more delicate, and then you have that one. where they're a little bit more fuller there. There we go. Okay, so that was really super quick and easy. I mean, how long have I been on for? 20 minutes? No, yeah, 20 minutes? So less than 20 minutes. I mean, if I hadn't waffled at the beginning, that was 15 minutes to make 4 cards, pretty much. I mean, I know I've got to stick it onto a card base, but, you know, that's ready to go. All right, so let's do something different then. So we've used the crackle paint. I've kind of got on and used up my favourites. So let's think, what else could you do? Let's use the buffalo check this time. Sorry, I was just trying to find a piece of cardstock. Now, I like the idea of using something quite pale with this one. So I'm actually going to grab soft seafoam because I think it's one of the lightest colours that we do. And I know I'm doing it landscape again, but I think it works. Have I used the birch? Not tonight. Okay, not yet. But the rate I'm going, we're gonna get going. Okay. Well, keep watching my videos, Cindy. You'll soon pick it up. Cindy's just said she wants to channel my artistic mind. Okay, so we're gonna this time. So we're gonna aim for the middle and across. And if you do watch quite a few of my videos, you'll see a recurring theme that this is not a new thing that I do. I just change the stamps I use, basically. So, oh, didn't really work very well aiming for the middle there, did it? Never mind. Okay, do that one. Try doing that. I'm gonna try and get more in the middle of the stamp, actually. Okay. Oh, right, okay, well, I'll try and use the birch one then later, yeah. Okay, so it's a lovely pale green, so, and I'm just using up the ink now, so I know that I had a bit of ink left on here, so I might as well use it up, just to add some splodges. Now, what was I thinking for this? Sorry guys, give me a moment. Okay. Oh, right. I wanted to show you something with the square. I did have a little play with this afternoon with my Stamparatus, but I don't want to use Stamparatus right now because I haven't got space on my desk. But I'm just going to show you a little oh, what's the word I want? Motif. That's the word. See, I'm trying to use the correct artistic terms with you guys so that you understand. So when you read this stuff other places or you hear of it other places, you'll understand. Okay, so this is a motif where I'm going to repeat stamp some squares. We'll start here and hope for the best. Hi, whoever just came in. Let me just see who that was. Oops. Hi, Karen. Hi, Nydia. What stamp set is that with the square? It's called Swirly Frames. I've just had a stamp fall on the floor. Oh, that was a block. Okay. Grab it with my toes. Okay, so this is quite fun. You can do kind of repeat stamping and connect these like this. And I swear to you, I saw this on Pinterest. So for those of you who've just joined me, at the beginning of this broadcast, I said that I had some inspiration from Pinterest, and I looked up wallpaper, masculine wallpaper, and the themes that came up repeatedly were gingham or buffalo check, wood grain, all the stamps that I've just kind of shown you and using, you know, trees. Obviously some things were quite what's called industrial looking, but and then repetitive patterns. So everything I'm showing you is kind of what is out there. So when you're a bit stuck for doing masculine cards, don't go and Google masculine cards, because you'll just end up seeing what everybody else has done, and you'll just go, oh, I can't do that, and you won't do it. So look up other things. Look up, you know, masculine wallpaper, interior design, artwork, all that kind of thing. It's totally about the colours, Esther. Yes. Sorry, Esther's just commented and said it's also about the colours. Yes, we covered that a little bit. But yeah, it is. It's about what colours you choose. So definitely your neutrals. Go to your neutrals first of all, and then add to it. And it's not to say you can't use pink or you can't use other colours, but definitely go to your neutrals first. Okay, so here we've got this kind of motif effect going on. I messed it up a little bit there, but hey, you know, who cares? No one's going to know, apart from you lot. You just see me mess it up. That's because I was chatting. Right, let's see if I can get this. Now on the Stamparatus you can actually do this effect very, very well, because the notches are just the right size away. So I will try and demonstrate that in another video. I'm not going to do that today. Right, clean that up. So oh, the other stamp set I thought would be quite nice is this one with the pens in it. Shall we... Oh, sorry, I'm just trying to pick a block up off the floor. Right, let's... I wonder if it'd be quite nice to do some pens on this one. With some early espresso. I don't think I've actually used this stamp set yet, to my shame. Oh, look, brand new, not even got out the packet. Tut tut. Oh, my sister Esther actually sent me a card for my son's birthday, and she used the paintbrush, these pencils and paintbrushes in that pot for him, because he does a lot of art. He's just got very good results in his art AS levels. Very proud of him. So I know, Esther, you disgusted with me. I've only just got this out. Oh, that's a bit wonky, but never mind. There we go. Do that on the repeat. Well, I'll try not to do it wonky this time. It would help if my paper was straight, wouldn't it? With the grid lines. This grid paper really does help, because it kind of helps you to focus and be a bit more straight. Yeah, definitely repeat patterns are a good idea for masculine styles. And as I said earlier, masculine doesn't necessarily, you're just giving it to a man, it's just kind of approaching design. Right. I think I'll keep going on this one actually. Keep going down there. There we go. Because we're going to be cutting this in half. No, quarters. We'll wipe this one down. I think some leaves would be useful now at this point. So, oh no, Kay. So Kay's just said that she's got an indoor paddling pool. Well, because your freezer's leaked, is it? Your freezer sprung a leak. Oh no. Is it actually working? Is it because it's not working? Have things defrosted? Yeah, you'll be cooking all night now. Okay, I don't think I want to divert too much from this colour scheme. Let's bring in some old olive. Just bring a little bit of softness to this scheme now by doing some leaves. I'm just going to bring them in from the corners. Oh, I could use it for a class. Esther just asked, am I designing for a class or is it just testing out masculine designs? No, this was really kind of just looking at masculine designs because someone left a sweet comment on one of my One Sheet Wonder videos and asked if I could do some One Sheet Wonders in more masculine themed. So, and she got thumbs up from it. Some other people had obviously agreed with her. So I thought, oh, I'll get on here and just do that because I have filmed a couple of videos today that I'm working on editing because I've got blog hops and things to do. So I don't have time to edit anything else at the moment. So I thought I'd just get on here and have some fun. And it's good for me to actually test ideas out and to be able to share with my classes. So you're my guinea pigs, basically. Oh, thank you, Joanne. Oh, okay, I hope you get one soon. Right, so just because we've been doing lots of stamping doesn't mean if you didn't want to colour these in, you know, you can do that. Right, so because I want to save as much of this design as possible, I'm going to cut down side there. Turn it round and cut down here. Yeah, I want to kind of try and make it easier for people to think through masculine designs because often people say it's harder, but I think it's because it's not an aesthetic that we're used to thinking about, you know, because generally crafters tend to be ladies. And feminine ladies, so therefore we tend to just create what we like, and I want to kind of myth bust this really and say actually you can do this, you've just got to think in a slightly different way, or you just need to restrict your thinking rather than looking at your craft stash and just looking at everything you've got and thinking, oh my goodness, where do I start? Start with either, you know, like I've said, shapes and colours. So stick to more geometrics and foliage, and then also look at your colour schemes. So here we go. Now you could have this either way round. You know, this would be great for someone who's a gardener, a writer, you know, or just likes good design. So we've got that lovely kind of bit of that hint of the background in there. And then we've got the darker imagery going on. If I get another... Or notebook covers, yes. Do you ever use these as card bases or just mats? Yeah, so this would be pretty much my card base. And then either you could stamp and then cut out and stick a sentiment onto here. You know, you've done all the hard work at this point now. This is, you know, your focal, you know, let this shine. You know, don't be ashamed of this. This is, you know, you've done the hard work here. So you don't need to do much more to this. I would just stamp on this now. So there we go. Yes, you could definitely, oh, a notebook cover would be lovely actually. I do have some notebooks that I might cover. And if you wanted to add more grunge to this, of course you can do that. Where's my little... I put it away, but I'll just use this one. If you wanted to add a little bit more grunging, I think I'll get some crumb cake for... Oh no, this one. If you want to add a bit more, you know, just to soften it up, you can do that with these spots. And I tell you what, if you haven't got a decent stamp of this type of design in your collection, please get one as soon as possible. I don't know how you're living without it. Because sometimes, you see, look, I've made a boo-boo there. I don't know, I've got ink on here, I don't know how, but look, if I put that on there, it doesn't look so obvious. Honestly. It's all about, sometimes it's about disguise. Keeping it real, folks. Just keeping it real. Oh, I think that one should go that way around because I like the way the pens are coming up. And that one. And that one. Pens are going up that way. So you could, you know, there's space for a sentiment there. There's kind of a space for a sentiment there. Beauty Abounds has a lovely splatter stamp. Ah, does it? Oh, I've not noticed. I like a good splatter stamp. Right, there we go. So that's another one done. So that's 2 one-sheet wonders already done in how many minutes? 35 minutes. Right, let's see if I can get one done in 10 minutes. Now I'm getting the hang of it. Let's see if we can keep this broadcast under 40 minutes. Right. Right, so we had a request for the Birch stamp. Now, where have I put the others? Oh, there they are. I was thinking, where have I put all the things I've just made? Right, Birch. Oh, you did. Yes, Kay. Beauty Abounds is the one with the butterflies in it, hasn't it? And that has got some really lovely elements in that that can be used for masculine cards. It's got some little circles in there, hasn't it? Definitely. Right, let's have a think. Right, I'm going to use this in a slightly different way than I've ever used this before. I'm going to ignore this. There's this sort of darker patch here, which is the when you look at the design, it's like a knot in the wood there. Okay, so I'm going to ignore that bit, and you'll see why in a second. Actually, I'm going to ink it up this way because I'm going to see what happens when I do this. I'll stamp that down. And then I'm going to turn this way and stamp a section of it there and cross hatch it and see what happens. Ta-da! Look at that. Isn't that fun? Okay, so let's put that there. I always get quite excited whenever... Ooh! Oh, dropping my ink pad. Ooh, don't land. Butter side down. Oh, yes. Landed on its side. That's great. Nydia says, you don't have to rush. I love watching you work, making your creations. I find them so soothing and inspiring. Take your time. Thank you. Oh, that's very kind of you to say. Yes, sorry, I was saying, I get quite excited whenever I see a stamp that looks like it's got a bit of a stripe to it, because I really enjoy doing this, cross-hatching them. So cross-hatch is when you go one way, one direction, and then you go the other direction. That's what cross-hatching is. It's working, isn't it? Who'd have thought it, hey? This is like a really cool fabric. Like Chanel fabric, isn't it? Now I am catching the corners there, so I need to be a bit more careful the way I'm inking. And I think I'm just going to grab a wee tissue and just clean that because I don't really want that. Now I want some good rustic bread, she says. Oh yeah. Oh, French bread with butter. Yummy, yummy. Or a good tomato soup. Okay. Now beware, you will get inky doing this process, okay? I did have a lady come to my classes the other day and she bought little latex gloves because she knew that she was going to get inky. I think after she's quite new to my classes, and I think after the first couple she thought, I'm not having this, I'm going to bring gloves. Hi Naveen, lovely to see you. Okay, so now I've just got ink on here, so I'm just going to use that up to fill in some bits, but you know, I'm not too worried. Getting inky's half the fun, yeah. Okay, so we've done some cross hatching. That was super fun. Not done that before. What could we do with grey? Grey and blue is nice. Grey and, oh, about a really nice fern. Oh, yes. Nice fern. And some mossy meadow. Oh, Esther says a bit of script as well. Oh yes, we'll bring some script into it in a minute. Okay, so for this design, in my head I'm thinking we're going to put a circle. Imagine there's going to be a sentiment or something, or some sort of punch out. I'm permanently covered in ink. I don't own any Stampin' Up, but now I want them. You've inspired me so much. Oh, Dawn! So Dawn, where are you from? What country are you in? I love this mossy meadow. I'm so glad Stampin' Up brought this colour back. I forgot to stamp off on that one. Never mind. Florida. Oh, there's plenty of demonstrators near you. Hands up the American demonstrators. So if you're watching from the UK and you don't have a demonstrator, I would love to be your supplier of all Stampin' Up goodies. I'm happy to send out catalogues, so please contact me either via YouTube or I have a Facebook site. So you can find me, if you just Google Artful Stampin', you'll come across my blog and my there's links there to my shop and so on. So right, I'm doing 3rd generation stamping now because I can. Look, that's a great thing about this dark colour. You can get quite a lot out of it. Stick another one in there. So it's useful to have a circle that you can move around. I'm going to leave those 2 there, just to leave it as is, because I want to sort of show you that you don't have to do lots of leaves. I mean, I love leaves, so I'm getting that. I'm really going for it, but you don't have to. Right, I'm going to wipe this up because this is quite a dark colour and I don't want it accidentally transferring onto something. And while I'm here, I'll just clean this up as well. So Esther requested the scripty stamp. So I'm thinking, what about some basic grey for this? Because we've used smoky slate for the background with the birch trees. I've got little piles of stamps and ink pads all around me. Okay, basic grey. Oh, the blue. Oh, dark grey or blue. Middleburg. Close to Jacksonville. Blue, says everybody. Blue. Okay, so do we go Seaside Spray or do we want to go Balmy Blue, which is a little bit more... Ooh, it's got more of a yellowish tinge, a turquoisey tinge to it. Or do we go Full Party, which has got even more of an aqua tinge to it? Which one should we go for? Seaside, said Esther. Oh, more Seaside Spray, okay. Yeah, unfortunately, I can't sell to you, Dawn, because I'm in the UK. Otherwise, I'd love to have you as my customer. But there we go. Oh, Balmy Blue says, okay, well, maybe we'll try both. Right, I'm thinking just down the middle here, so that we get a little bit on either card. Seaside is getting the votes at the moment, but I will try the balmy in a second. Right, let's get this done. Okay, we'll have a look which one is better. Just wipe this off. Kay says she'd use Night of Navy. Oh, sorry, I just packed that away. Ah, okay, well maybe I'll do one with a bit of Night of Navy just to see what that looks like. I think the reason I'm not going for Night of Navy is because we've got a lot of darkness going on with the Mossy Meadow. Okay. That's not to say I'm not going to use it. I may be convinced yet, because I do have a little idea of what else I'd like to put with this. But for now, what I'm going to do is cut it up, see what it looks like, and go from there. So, this is great. I'm getting loads of masculine cards done in one night. Right, I'm going to just cut a slither off this side. And then cut a slither off the other side. Put the two together. Right. Right, so for those of you who like the idea of the nice small leaves in here, using this one. Love What You Do. Okay, so sometimes what you can do is, you know, these clear bits, you can kind of like lay them over the top to sort of see how it would look. Ah, I see. My instincts with that one, and I think I'm correct. Let's go with that one. And possibly that little leaf there. I love this leaf, that one. Right, I just wanted to add more texture into this. And although this is a classic kind of way of creating a floral card, it's really nice to kind of experiment and see this as more of a masculine card. Okay, so bring a circle back so you get an idea of what's happening. Okay, I don't know if you can see what I'm doing. I'm stamping, and then I'm imagining that this base bit is like a bit on a pivot, so that is going up like that, and then doing a third stamp there. Okay, so whenever you're doing a design like this, you've got to imagine that there's a central point here from which everything is flowing from. Okay, so I know I make it look easy because I've done it loads of times. I do get that. And you think, well, how does Ruth do it? It's because in my head I'm imagining everything's coming from this point here. So if I have this, you know, this middle stem, I'm just imagining everything is coming from that point there. Right, I've got this little leaf here. I think I might even add that as well. Oh no, I missed a bit. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm going to stick my head over this for a second, see if I can fix it. There we go. And I am re-inking for this because I want this dark blue to show up against this dark green. Okay, see how that works? If I'm getting a bit closer. There we go. Can you see that? And also don't be afraid to turn your work around if you're finding it easier to stamp in one direction. Then maybe some sprigs and Highland Heather. Ooh. I would not have thought to do that. What if I try that on a different one? They would actually look like heather, wouldn't they? Right. Okay, I'm going to stop there, I think. Although I am tempted to do a sprig there, but we'll leave that for now. Okay, let's see if I can grab Highland Heather. Okay, let's bring this one in. Let's play with this one now. Okay, right. So cheek cleaning off without a wipe. Right, well I'm hoping you guys are going to go away and create this for yourselves. Then you can frame as many of these up as you want. But the idea is that you give these away, okay? You make some cards and you give these away and you're not scared of masculine anymore. That's the idea. Although the irony is that adding these little feminine touches is actually what really makes these. Purple and green together is lovely, isn't it? Oh yes, definitely do that, Kay. If you've got the birch and the Very Versailles, yes, definitely. There we go. Right. And then if you want to bring in more of the Highland Heather, you could perhaps stamp your sentiment in Highland Heather, or even do something around the edges. Let's have a look. Use a bit of this. How about a small bird? Oh yeah, small bird would be cute, wouldn't it? What stamp set though? I haven't got many birds, I'm afraid. I've got that tiny bird that's in Snowfront, which is a new stamp set. There is this little bird in here. Got a bird. I'm trying to think. A dragonfly. Yeah, it's funny, isn't it? I tend to think girls like butterflies and men can cope with dragonflies just about. Yeah. Let's have a look. I think I can do. Oh, is there a dragonfly in that one? Nope. I really miss a nice bee stamp. Free as a bird. No, I don't have that one. I do miss a nice bee. We had one in. I used it today actually with a group of kids. Touches of Texture. There was a really cute little bee. But is this? I think this is supposed to be a dragonfly, isn't it? That one and that one. I think I'm going to stamp it first because I'm not convinced. Let's see what this looks like. Oops. Yes, we're trying to keep it feminine. I don't... Looks a bit odd, doesn't it? That doesn't look right. Back to the drawing board. Let's see what else I've got. Acorn. Flowers. Oh, it's a little bit... Oh no, it looks a bit weird. No, we really do need a little... If anyone can point me out a really cute little dragonfly or something in a different set, I'd be quite happy to use it. But I'm not happy with that dragonfly. That just looks odd. Body horizontal. Oh! Like that. But then it might look like a... Body horizontal, wings at the top. But then does that make it just look like a butterfly? That's my fear. Well, mind you, if I do it quite near the top... Do you mean like that? Oh well, if you would like to do that, you go for it. I'm just, personally, I'm not convinced, and I don't want to spoil it. It looks better, says Cheryl. Yeah, very diplomatic, Cheryl. Okay, that's fine. We'll leave it there, I think, for that one. So that's the purpley one. I'm going to leave these as is. I mean, if you want to add extras, you can do. I mean, you can always add a little bit of a few more splatters somewhere. That's some navy. There we go. Stick that in the middle. That just helps you to focus. Right, let me just draw out a bit more because you guys are a little bit far out. There we go. Leave it there. Yes, Esther, very funny. Leave it there. So let's just do a quick review then. I did have a packet of little circle, other circle cutouts on my desk, but no, can't find them right now. Let's go over this. I'd like a good glass of Merlot. Oh, me too. That would be nice, wouldn't it? Oh, there's one in Enjoy Life. Oh, okay, I'll have a look at that, Janice. Thank you. Yeah, we are missing some cute little, more masculine bits and pieces, aren't we? Right, so let's pop that back there. So that's without any extras. Oh, it's upside down. I'm looking at that's that. Then this is the one with the Night of Navy. There we go. Really poor show not having a B. Yes, you're quite right, Janice. There we go, that's with the Highland Heather. And then that's with just lots of splats all over the place. And then we've got these ones. Yeah, masculine. I know, I really struggle with the kind of... actually, there was a stamp set from ages ago called... Was it World Traveller? That was a really lovely set. But I think because I don't tend to make men's cards that have cars, like my husband and kids aren't really into that kind of thing, like cars and trains, and I mean we appreciate them, but you know, it's not really what we're into. Oh, was it called Traveller? Yes, it was called, yes, Traveller. And I held on to it for ages, and then I think I finally got rid of it. Okay, so these are the ones with the buffalo check and the squares and the pens. And then right back to the beginning, we did this one with the crackle stamp and waterfront and swirly frames, which I think is lovely. Very soft. And great for all kinds of men. Oh, excuse me. Time for my Betty Boys. Right, well, thank you so much for joining me. I hope if you're watching this on the replay, you get some inspiration from these and you can apply some of the thought processes to any cards that you want. Who's that? Hello, everyone. Almost finished, I guess. I'll watch the replay later. I'm happy 2 nights in a row. Oh, welcome, Reet. Is that how you say your name? Reet? Reet? Really love the first set, this one. Okay, so what's people's favourites? We've got first, second set and third set. Well, you've had a teaser, haven't you, Reet, of what I've done. So you can see how I've actually done it now. So Esther likes the first set. So Stampin' Star Creations is my sister Esther. She's also a Stampin' Up demonstrator. So do follow her. She does videos as well. So Kay likes the first and the third one. Randy likes the first one. Gloria likes all of them. Bev likes the last one. Lavinia likes the first one. Lydia really likes the first and third one. Cindy says, all new ideas for cards for my church folk. Fantastic. Cheryl came in late. Love the first one. Oh, and Joanne loves the first one. Janice loves all 3. Oh, Janice, you're a super fan. And if you don't follow Janice as well, please follow Janice. She's trying to build up her YouTube channel, so please go and like her videos and follow her if you like what she does. Reed says the left one and the middle one are my favourites. Okay, there we go. And the last one, keep inking up. You like the last one. Right, so design principles, shapes, more repetitive designs. So the buffalo check, the background stuff, fantastic for men's or masculine cards. Anything leafy, anything, yeah, not a flower, basically. Yeah, and sort of wood grain textures, anything woodsy, treesy. And if you like your cars, fine, get your cars. There's a really great stamp set that's got kind of oil splatters in the background of that. So yeah, that's really great. Yeah, so thank you for joining, and I hope to see you again soon. We've got on the 25th of the month, which is very, very soon, we've got the Christmas challenge coming up. So I've been working on that today. That's why my hands are quite inky, and also I was working on another blog, the Sunday blog hop that's coming up, and so I got very messy today doing some inking and doing some things with embossing powder and stencils. Okay, that's all I'm going to say, because I'm not allowed to say anything else. I'll let it be a surprise to you on Sunday morning when you get the notification of a new video. Right, lots of love to you all. Thank you for joining, and thank you for being such lovely followers. Please do comment below if there's anything else you'd like me to do, or if you'd like me to go over any particular design techniques. Take care for now. Have a great night. Bye.